Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Survival Minecraft. As you can see, I think we are finally done with this spawn platform. I'm about had it with being up here, and I'm sure you guys are tired of watching this. But you can see we added some lava to the side over here. We finished the warped forest. Let's go ahead and turn around. I don't know why I'm moonwalking this whole thing. We finally got the bone structures up on the end. I do need to get some couple more bones, but yeah, whatever. I'm done with those. And then moved the crimson trees over here and finished this area off as well. So I'd like to call this spawn platform done and start moving on to some other projects. So one of the things we worked on first between episodes is over here on this community farm area. Thank you for ruining my intro, by the way. Thanks, bro. That was very kind of you. I made a little starter community safe house over here. That way we can put the enchanting and storage in here and not have to worry about mobs coming and get everything out from under this platform, because I kind of feel bad for building over everybody's stuff that they've been making. So one of our members came over, and he must have watched my last episode, and he gave me a bit of ender chest. So thank you, Secondhand Peon, for doing that. Yeah, he came over while I was building and dropped off some e-chests because he knows I don't like crafting them. So over here, I think we're going to put over the starter farms and yeah, the little wheat and carrots and potatoes, all that stuff. Just make this look like a little farm area and add maybe a little bit of storage, and then add a little pen for all the animals. And I'll probably try to do something to separate all the animals into their own little pens, but I don't know exactly what we have over there. I think it's just sheep and cows. So I'll make a couple of those pits over here. I'll make a couple of those pins over here, and yeah, hey, look, we got bees. So let me do that, and then we'll move on with the rest of the episode. One of the things that I've found really helpful when building and starting new projects is really to just start to mark out what you're going to be doing and plan out the build before you start building, and that'll save you a lot of time in the end, and I think it makes your end result look a lot better. So instead of just starting to build farms randomly out here, I actually went through and marked out little pathways, so this way I can go off and make a bridge and go across that way for something in the future. But then that leaves me room on this side to make a pen over here or a pen over here and put farms and actually leave room for a nice looking walkway. So yeah, if you're having trouble getting started with a build, sometimes just throwing down some blocks and marking out a little bit of an idea of how you want the area to flow and what you want it to feel like, it really opens up the ideas for inspiration as to what you want to put and where you want to put it. So for example, right here, we're going to have a post office, and there's going to be a pathway here that leaves, a nice amount of space for an entrance to the post office over here. And then, yeah, it leaves you some room over here for whatever you want to put. So I think I'm going to keep the farms and animals away from the post office and try to stick with them on this side and this side over here, and maybe start on the top of this little land mass right here above this little step up, maybe do some stuff over here. But I'm not going to do a whole lot. Really, the main priority is just getting all that stuff out of there and putting it over here, and yeah, making it look semi-decent. And then I can move on from the spawn area and go start some other projects, because I'm really dying to get over to my base and checking out some other builds across the server, because there has been a lot of progress over the last couple days. I think it's been a week and a half since the server has started, since it's reset, and there's just been a ton of progress by a lot of our members. So I want to start showing all that stuff off. So let me go ahead and finish this off, and we can get started on some other projects. All right, so this is just getting out of hand. You can see remnants of mobs here. I've been getting attacked by Endermen, a phantom swooping down, skeletons shooting, creepers blowing up. You can see there's just evidence of mobs being killed all over the place. And as soon as I go to record, of course they disappear, but the creeper just spawned right there. You weren't there a second ago, were you? And yeah, if I go over here to try to take care of these mobs, then by the time I come back, they're spawning on my path over here, and then I take care of those, and I start building, and then a creeper blows me up. And it's luckily the armor, the netherite armor, is tough enough that I'm not getting killed. It's just more of the nuisance of having to deal with this while I'm trying to build. Like, I just want to build. Leave me alone, please. But I think what I'm going to do is go have to craft up a bunch of torches and just light this whole area up as best I can before I start moving stuff over, because I don't really want a creeper to be blowing up my sheep pen and letting all the sheeps out or anything like that. So we're just gonna have to figure something out. I think I'm just gonna light this up and move on. And here is the community safe house that I've been spending all day working on. I didn't really have a design in mind. I just knew I wanted to use a lot of the nether palette. And yeah, I wanted to use the black stone as a base and then use some sort of color. So I ended up using the nether wood, the crimson wood, I'm assuming crimson logs. And I ended up running out of crimson logs. I was like 10 or 15 short, I think. And so I converted a lot of them to the planks, and yeah, ended up texturizing it like this. And I'm very happy with the way that turned out. So I'm actually glad that I was short materials, because it allowed me to texturize this and make it look that much better. Over here, you can see the spawn map, and this is looking absolutely awesome. You can see the post office is up here, community house is here, and this is the big spawn platform. You'll notice that all the sides of where the basalt was is all texturized. We have the path over here finished. We have the path to the community tree farm over here finished. The spawn portal area is finished. And I would say about 95% of the stuff I wanted to move that is underneath has been moved out. You can see over here, here's the community farm area now, and then this will go off and path towards that starter house that I saw. And yeah, you can see there's a lot of potential for growth over here, and the initial area of what I wanted to do is finally done. And I can say, hey, now this is done. You guys have fun with it. And finally up here, we have the spawn platform that I've been working on. I think you guys have already seen this all finished up, so we won't spend too much time on it. But the part that I didn't have finished yet and I haven't shown you yet is this over here where it was just open before. And I finally ended up closing it off, texturizing it with all the basalt blocks. I just need to acquire some soul soil torches because that will help light this area up and keep the mobs away. And then you can see these little black stone paths that I made up and down each of these sides over here. For the people that have spawn houses up there, there's a water elevator someone made right here. So yeah, there's ways to get around. There's a tunnel that's going through. I tried to future-proof it as much as possible and give everyone options as to what they want to do if they want to go off in certain directions. So I think the only thing left to do really is just the final touches of the soul soil torches, finishing the little texturizing. There's a couple spots I think I missed over here, and then add a couple signs of directions for people if they spawn in here or they get lost, that you can say, hey, there's the nether portal, that way's tree farms, that way's community spawn houses, this way's community farms and storage and post office. So yeah, other than that, this is done and I am out of here. I want to go work on my base and go do some other things because I've been sticking around spawn for way too long and I'm ready to start doing some stuff for my base. Before I leave, I just wanted to get one last look of this area in its completed state. I really wish I had more soul torches on the bottom, but I'm actually appreciating the shadows that it's creating on the sides. And yeah, this just gives you an idea of the massive nature of this project. It wasn't easy and it wasn't very fast. It took me a lot longer than I thought, but the end result is always worth it. Just being able to sit back and admire your work and know that you did a good job. So now that the community area is done as far as the work that I wanted to do, I think I'll just sit back and appreciate this a couple more minutes and then head off to my base. All right, so I'm back at my spawn house and I just want to make sure that I'm not forgetting anything before I move over to the Mushroom Island. Stuff like this is just going to be a pain in the butt to get everything over there. So I'm just trying to find the important stuff, take inventory of what I have and see what I need to get started over there. I think what I want to do first is get a couple of farms set up, like a gold farm and maybe sugarcane farm and a mob farm, just to kind of get resources that we're going to need long-term, like XP and to repair our picks and everything like that. We're going to need, I'm probably going to need a basalt generator, so I'll build another one of these over there. But even before I can start building farms, I really need to go through that island and take note of how long it is and how wide it is, the dimensions, and start marking things out so I know where to build things, because I kind of have a vision of what the island's going to look like. And some of the farms, like the gold farm, are super tall and super large, and you need to have them in a certain place where you think a tower is going to be, or a place where it can, be covered up and not be sticking out. For now, I'm just going to start moving this stuff over and see what we can do to get started over there. So I'm on a massive sidetrack because my gear isn't fully geared up. And yeah, I'm just going through what books I have and which ones I need to fully enchant all my gear. I actually have a Power 5 book here and I already bought one. Oh well, no refunds, I guess. So I'm going to go through my inventory and see what I have here and what I need to buy for each of my gear. I think I just need a bunch of unbreaking and protection books to fully figure all these out, and then add some restoration to that one, which I have. And then, yeah, protection and unbreaking for these. So I'll just buy those books, enchant those. I'll probably head over to the gold farm to get the levels that I need, find some string, get my bow, and then we can come back and get out of here. All right, well, we were finally able to gather all of our belongings and everything we need to get started over at our base island and move it on over. I ended up having to take, I think, 3 trips in total just to get enough materials to start the gold farm. And let's see, I think most of it is in here, yeah. And then some in the E-chest over here. You can see I got lots of lava buckets, which were a pain. All the mine carts from the basalt generator I tore down. And then actually between episodes, because there was a lot of other things I was doing throughout the day, I spent a couple hours mining and just gathering resources over here rather than having to bring stuff over. After we get the island laid out a little bit and plotted out, we will start building the gold farm first, because the gold farm can tie to a lot of other things like getting gold for the piglin trading farms and getting a lot of experience to repair tools without having to leave the island, because we are pretty far away. And then after that, we can start building things like a basalt generator to have a building block for the island, bamboo farm, sugarcane farm, kelp farm, all those little things just to have fuel, to have building blocks, to have materials for all the stuff that we're going to need. And eventually I'll have to go ahead and tear out most of this ice because mobs do spawn on it and it's touching the island, and I will get the occasional zombie creeping up on me, which is kind of defeats the purpose of having a mushroom island, being able to get rid of mobs if they're just walking right up to you. The first thing I wanted to do before I start laying down blocks was actually measure out this island. So I went ahead and marked out little 10 block segments, and I started over on this side. Whoa, don't want to go down the scaffolding here. We started this side, so this direction, it is 14 blocks, so it is 140 blocks. There's a little bit of edge on each side, but I wanted to stay with the 10 block thing. So about 14 that way and about 13, so 130 blocks this way. So I ended up making this the center of the island. So this will be my center point, center tower, or whatever you want to call it. Usually the main feature of anyone's base in the center is going to be a storage system, and I think that's the case with this one as well. I noticed last season I spent a lot of time in the storage room. I think that's probably the most frequently visited area that I went to in my base, and had all the farms all around it and underground and everything like that. So I think having the storage system in the middle will be the best bet. I don't really have an idea for a storage area or how big I want it to be. I literally have zero clue what I want to do. So I think I'm just going to try to play it safe and mark just a good safe distance around this so it's good and expandable in the future, and then start picking an area for the gold farm and start building that to get that out of the way. Well, it may not look like much, but it's finally done. I just need to fill in the lava on the top to ignite the portal, and then we'll give this thing a proper test. I do have to also put in the trident and the trident killer, and let's just hope all of this works. So I'm just going to go ahead and test this on camera with you guys. I haven't tested this yet, so we'll see together how this works out. We'll throw the trident in there. Let's get our glass back, close this up. And then, yeah, you can see here's our trident killer. This is the drop chamber where the pigmen will spawn and come in there. And then I set up a temporary storage over here, which I'll set up a sorter and everything once I figure out where the storage room goes. This is the center of the base right here. So I'm thinking that this is close enough to get me some enchanting and stuff close by in my storage room. So the storage room should be somewhere in this vicinity right here, but we'll worry about that later. Let's go ahead and climb up. You can see that I've designed this all with some basalt and then black glass, which, pro tip, if you're going to work on a mushroom island at night in the dark, don't use black glass and obsidian and basalt, because it was a pain in the butt to try to figure out where to put everything. So if I am correct, I should just have to put these lava buckets in here, and something about this interacts with the trapdoors and thinks it wants to catch on fire, which ends up lighting the portal. So I just filled in all the lava buckets up there, and it should be igniting, but this piston, like I said, is in the way of the portal lighting. So let's go ahead and go down here, and we'll flip the switch, and we will see if this starts dropping pigmen. And I know I keep calling them pigmen, and I think the new proper term is zombie piglins, but that's just too much to be saying. Okay, so that's the trident killer. That works. Let's go ahead and flip this switch, and we should see the portal start to light. Please. Please. Yes, it's working. All right, now we should be getting pigmen in the south half, which is the side that I'm on. Yes. It's working. But are they only spawning in there? Please tell me that they aren't falling outside the thing. Okay. Pigmen dropping, that's good. Yes. I can't believe this worked first try. Okay, so they're dropping in here. We'll go ahead and fill up this. This was just my easy way to get around opening, so we'll close that so they can't get out. This is so cool. This is my first gold farm, you guys. I've watched Darren build one last season. I watched B-Mitz build a couple this season, and this actually feels really good to be able to do it myself. So what's cool is that you can actually get XP through glass and through pistons and a lot of other blocks. So I don't have to worry about opening this up, but I will replace this with an iron trap door so I can reach in there with my sword and kill ones that take too long, and then the baby zombies won't be able to get out. But that's awesome. Yes, I'm really excited that that works. And we are also getting drops down here on the storage, so that is a good sign as well. Well, the spawning is working really, really well, but the killing of these pigmen is not going so well. I've noticed a lot with these gold farms in the realm. This is the third one that I've seen, the first one that I've built. But it seems like all of them, they can spawn really, really fast. But because of lag on the server, you can see that the pistons kind of struggle every once in a while. And it doesn't really quite do as much damage as you think it would do. And it takes forever to kill all the pigmen that are in the chamber. So you end up having to use your sword and kill them off yourself, which kind of defeats the purpose of having an AFK killer like a trident killer. But maybe that's something that will work itself out with the next update. I don't know. We've been noticing quite a bit of lag lately. We only have 6 people on right now, and it's still pretty laggy. And yeah, there's only one pigman left, and it's taking forever for him to die. But you can see just the simple redstone clock is lagging out quite a bit, and there's literally nothing else in this area. There's no hostile mobs on this island because it's a mushroom island. There's no other redstone going on aside from just this right here because all of that is shut off, and I haven't built anything here yet, so there's nothing. There should be no lag over here, but it just seems like every day on this realm there's lag. Our first official project of the island is now done, and I couldn't be more excited to now have a good source of XP on our island and a good source of gold for future projects that we will be doing down the road. I'm actually really, really excited to have this base started. Usually putting down the first blocks is the hardest because you want to make sure everything is right and everything is in its place. And sometimes you just don't have the idea to even lay down that first block. But to me, a lot of it kind of comes when you throw down those first blocks and you start seeing stuff, then my vision starts coming alive when I can see things added to that. So last season we had a really beautiful biome to build in, and that started opening my eyes to big projects and different things that I wanted to do with that area. Out here, we kind of had a boring blank slate of an island, and I have a vision of what I want to do in the end, and where to start, I didn't know. So now that we have a starting point and we have something to work off of and another good way to get resources and XP, this will just start the process of getting this base towards completion. That's going to be the episode for me today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this project as much as I did. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the like button. And if you are new to this channel or aren't subscribed yet, please try to consider hitting the subscribe button and following along with my adventures. I really do put in a lot of effort into these episodes. This one has been 3 days in the making. And yeah, I really have been enjoying this, and I would hope that there could be more and more people along for the ride. So I appreciate each and every one of you for following along so far, and let's keep going with future projects, and I'll see you next time. Bye.